to keep it down.
No.
That's what's going to happen.
We trying to keep it down.
So what you going to do? I'm going to follow your lead.
All right.
And that's how we going to keep it. What's up?
This was meant to be a celebratory evening. An opulent, glitzy night where the Love and Hip Hop cast would reunite revisiting old conflicts, seeking closure, maybe even offering forgiveness. Fans tuned in by the millions, hungry for fireworks, but no one could have predicted the scale of mayhem that would erupt. No one foresaw that by the end of the night, headlines would scream of violence, betrayal, land, and arrest that would shake the franchise to its core. The reunion set buzzed. With activity, under the intense glow of studio lights, everything gleamed perfectly staged. Yet, under the flawless makeup and rehearsed smiles, old wounds festered, waiting to ignite. And ignite they did. The tension thickened the moment Rasheeda Frost and Yandy Smith locked eyes. Once sisters in spirit, now strangers burdened by months of betrayal, rumors, and seething resentment, Yandy sat, arms folded, her gaze icy. Rasheeda remained stiff on the soft reunion couch. The host, sensing the electricity in the air, tried steering the conversation, but no amount of preparation could stop what was coming. Yandy struck first. She accused Rasheeda of backstabbing her, whispering lies for clout and social media fame. Rasheeda, voice sharp as steel, fired back, calling Yandy fake, manipulative, and a master of victimhood. Gasps rippled through the audience. Cast members shifted uneasily. Security crept closer to the stage. Mendeecees Harris, Yandy's husband, sat at the edge of the set, fists clenching tighter, jaw rigid. Everyone knew Mendeecees had a temper, especially when it came to defending Yandy. When Rasheeda stood and pointed a finger in Yandy's face, Mendeecees snapped. In a flash, he crossed the stage, shouting at Rasheeda to step back. Rasheeda, fearless, stood her ground. Harsh, ugly words flew between them. Then, without warning, Mendeecees shoved Rasheeda hard. She stumbled back, a shocking moment caught live by countless fans. Chaos exploded. Cast members lunged, some grabbed Mendeecees, others ran to Rasheeda. Security swarmed, but the damage had already been done. Someone called the police. Within minutes, flashing lights painted the lot outside. Officers poured into the building as fans outside snapped pictures. Mendeecees, his rage cooling, tried to explain he had only been trying to protect Yandy, but Rasheeda's insistence on pressing charges, backed by witness accounts, left the officers no choice. The cuffs snapped shut around his wrists, the painful images flooded social media. Yandy sobbed, pleading with officers. Cast and crew stood frozen, unable to grasp what had just unfolded. Within hours, hashtags #FreeMendeecees and #JusticeForRasheeda trended worldwide. The internet fractured, some vilifying Mendeecees as violent, others defending him as devoted. Has been caught in a moment of madness. Behind the scenes, Love and Hip Hop producers scrambled. The glamorous reunion special had mutated into a PR nightmare. Meanwhile, Rasheeda went live from her dressing room, face flushed, voice trembling. She accused Mendeecees of blindsiding her, insisting she had never threatened Yandy. She vowed to take the matter to court. Yandy, heartbroken, also turned to social media, tearfully defending her husband, pleading for understanding. But instead of healing wounds, the dueling posts fueled the fire. Insiders revealed that tensions between Rasheeda and Yandy had been simmering for months, sparked by personal betrayals, family disputes, and jealousy over endorsement deals. Worse still, producers had deliberately seated them side by side, hoping for good TV. What they got was so much more and so much worse than they bargained for. Mendeecees spent the night behind bars, facing serious assault charges. The next morning, a crowd of supporters and protesters gathered outside the courthouse, brandishing signs and chanting slogans. Yandy arrived, pale but resolute. Rasheeda followed, her face unreadable. Inside the courtroom, emotions ran high. The prosecution painted Mendeecees as dangerous and reckless. The defense argued he was simply defending his wife. Rasheeda's tearful testimony rocked the room. When Mendeecees spoke, his voice broke with emotion, offering a heartfelt apology. The cross-examination was brutal. Prosecutors dredged up Mendeecees' past, portraying him as violent and impulsive. Then a twist-leaked footage surfaced, showing Rasheeda behaving aggressively toward Yandy before the shove. Public opinion shifted, but not enough to clear Mendeecees entirely. After agonizing deliberation, the jury delivered its verdict: guilty of misdemeanor assault, not guilty of felony assault. Outside the courthouse, chaos reigned once again. Supporters clashed, shouts echoed. Tears fell. Rasheeda addressed the crowd, speaking passionately about standing up against violence. Yandy, voice shaking, vowed her family would survive this storm. Behind the scenes, the love and hip-hop family was crumbling. Friendships fractured, alliances shifted. New wounds open. Rasheeda seized her moment, becoming a powerful voice for women's empowerment. To many, she became a symbol of strength. Meanwhile, Mendeecees sank into a private hell of regret. Though Yandy stood by him, their path forward was uncertain and rocky. More scandal erupted when leaked producer emails revealed that reunion tensions had been deliberately stoked for higher ratings. Fans lashed out, accusing the network of putting cast members in danger for entertainment. At last, the sentencing came. Mendeecees was ordered to complete community service, attend anger management classes, and serve 1 year of probation. If he completed it all successfully, his record would be wiped clean. The decision polarized the public. Some celebrated it as a second chance, others decried it as a slap on the wrist, but life moved on. Yandy channeled her pain into launching a new initiative focused on conflict resolution and mental health awareness. Rasheeda continued advocating for victims' rights, turning her trauma into purpose. Mendeecees threw himself into mentoring at-risk youth, determined to rebuild his reputation from the ground up. The scars of that night would never fully fade, but from those ashes, powerful new beginnings emerged. And as the cameras rolled once again for a new season of love and hip-hop, one truth was crystal clear. Behind the glitz and the glamour, real lives and real consequences were always on the line.